Hello, welcome to the Speakertunity show. I'm your host, Michael Whitehouse, and today our guest is Galit Ventura-Rozen. I love that her name rhymes with elite, which is one of my favorite words. So welcome to the Elite Galit. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what makes you awesome.
Thank you, Michael. I love how you said that. I'll have to use that again. What makes me awesome? Well, first of all, I get to be on your show, so that makes me pretty awesome, right? I'm excited, and thank you. The guy who knows a guy. How much fun is that for me? Let's see. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. My first baby is what I like to call it, is my commercial real estate company. I've been a commercial real estate broker for over 25 years in Las Vegas. About 5.5 years ago, I decided it was time to show women how to get to 7 figures in their businesses, because I've been blessed too. And that's how my speaking career started, because people started asking me to talk about the different topics that I actually have experience in, which is really leadership, business, mindset, and success.
Okay. And so how long have you been speaking?
I've been speaking my whole life. Most people will tell you a little too much at times. Being a paid speaker, about 5.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you built the business and achieved success, started teaching how you got the success, and that naturally led into the speaking?
Yeah, so what happened was quite interesting. One day I was out at a luncheon. I do a lot of local networking at the National Association of Women Business Owners, and someone said, "Hey, Galit, we saw you just wrote a book. Do you want to come speak about it?" And it's funny, Michael, but I never really thought about it because I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a professional speaker. Most of us didn't. And I said, sure. So I went ahead and I spoke, and it was so well received. I said, wait, that little light bulb went off. Wait, I could do this and put out a lot of positive information into the corporations or different conferences. And then I go, wait, there's a world where I could get paid. And I know it sounds funny, but sometimes we stumble on this as speakers. We don't just decide. And from there, I've just been really blessed to be, gosh, I don't know. There's been so many different places. From the furthest I've spoken is Montreal, Canada, in the United States. I haven't spoken out of the US yet. I say yet. I've spoken in Vancouver and Montreal in Canada. I'm in Las Vegas. I've spoken in New York, the other side of this country. So really, I've just had an opportunity to travel and speak at all kinds of different businesses and conferences.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And so when you made that jump to being a paid speaker, what did you do to do it? Did you start reaching out? Did they start reaching out to you? What was the tactical steps that
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things. So what happened was, all of a sudden people started seeing me speak, and they started asking me, can you show me how to be a paid speaker? Because there's that fine line between people thinking you're free all the time, which there are a lot of free speakers. And by the way, I don't knock that, because I teach that promotional speaking makes you a lot of money too. And I do both. And we'll tap into that in a second. But answering your question, I started doing what I've done with all of my businesses, because speaking is important to look at as a business. What do speakers need to be hired as a speaker? And I like to compare it as applying for a job. When you apply for a job, you need a resume, you need credentials, you need testimonials. Let's call them references. They're different. As a speaker, I started doing my homework and realized, wait, I need a speaker's kit. I need a speaker's reel. I need a resume. I need a media kit. I need all of these things because I'm applying for a job. And I'm going to be up against other people that are qualified, more qualified at times, less qualified at times. What's going to make me stand out? So I started putting those things together. That's really how it started.
Okay. So really what you need putting together. And how did you learn about how to put together a speaker's kit and the bio and the reels and all that stuff?
To be honest with you, research. I'm a big believer. I'm also a business coach. And one of the things that I share with people is go out there and find 5 people that you feel you want to strive to be like, or you want to get to their level. And I started researching different kinds of websites like eSpeakers. And I started researching speakers that had the type of experience that I have, and started understanding what do they have on their website so people would hire them. And that's how I first learned how, wait, you really need these things. And I'm not going to say they're logical steps, because they aren't for most people. But for me as a businesswoman, whenever I started a new business, I did the research to understand what I needed to be successful. And that's really how I got to those items and understanding what I needed to do next.
So kind of to be the best, steal from the best. I mean, learn from the best.
Yes. And I like to say, because my clients freak out when I say, go research 5 people that are doing what you want to do. They usually want to quit as soon as they do that. And I say, no. This is not to scare you. This is to teach you, what is it you like? What is it you don't like that they are doing? Now make it your own. So I learned the logistical pieces, and then I said, let me make it my own, but follow what most people are looking for when they are looking for speakers to pay.
Yeah, that's great. And I think one thing you learn when you start researching the people you want to be like is I mean, some of them you look at their website and be like, oh, I could never have a website like this. This is a $10,000 website. But others you look at and you're like, wait, this guy's a great speaker. I know how much money he's make. His website looks like it was carved out of cheese in 1996.
Yes, it's so true.
And yet I know he's still getting paid. Wow, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, you learn the good, you learn what doesn't work, and you learn what you like, because I'm the same way, where I'll go to a website and be like, I really don't like this style. It's not me. And then I'll go to another one and go, oh, I could totally see myself having a website that looks like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that moment when you first look at someone who's at this level, when you think of yourself at this level, you're like, they don't do that very well.
Yeah. And that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. You suddenly realize like they're human and you're human, and you all have different levels, and they're not like some Olympian god of speaking or whatever it is who is, born with just different genes and different lineage. They're people, and you're people, and you're people.
And a lot of people don't take that next step because they look at it the way that you said, where this God or this, no. There's no reason why anybody can't do what I do or what so many different speakers do. But what I tell people is, look at it as a business. Step back. Don't submit a reel to a Fortune 500 company of you speaking in your backyard with a microphone. I'm giggling and being silly, but that's not what you want. You've got to understand that there are certain criterias to be looked at as a professional, just like in business. There are certain jobs that you can go interview at, Michael, where you can wear a t-shirt and shorts, and they're like, these are my people. And then there's certain jobs where if you show up in t-shirt or in shorts, they're never going to hire you. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of the world. And with a speaker, I've seen everything. I've seen reels where they're in jeans and t-shirts and it's totally their brand. And then where they're in 3-piece suits, that's totally their brand. Find your niche, find your brand, and then just get those logistics together, which really are, I'm just going to say it again so people know, that speaker's reel is really important. A lot of people use one sheets. I think that's great. I haven't had to ever have one. I use a media kit instead. But the speaker's reel, I also have a resume, because some companies want to know, what do I do? What have I? And of course, a very, very professional bio. So important that you have somebody write it, unless you're a great writer. I personally am not good at writing about myself. I'm a writer, but I'm not so good at writing about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And certainly anything you're not good at, find someone who is good at it.
Yes.
Hire them to do it.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's definitely key. Now, so I believe one of the gifts you have is actually quite relevant to the Speakertunity community, and probably relates to what we do as well, which is you have some resources for finding stages.
Yes. Right now you put together your speaker's kit. That's what I call it. And you're ready to rock and roll. Well, what do you do next? A lot of people are ready to go, but they don't know what to do. So I've just put together a PDF that's free that has 5 direct links that you can go to. And these are places I find paid speaking gigs. So I'm giving you what I do. And what I tell people is carve out time every week to set aside to specifically focus on what I call lead generation for your speaking business. And this will be a great start for you if you don't know where to start. I'm a big woman empowerment chick, Michael, you've seen, and I think we need more women on the stages, men too, but right now only 9% of the top 50 women the top 50 motivational speakers in the US are women. So it's time to just get more women on stage. A lot of times women are more hesitant or worried about how they're going to be looked at or judged or confidence. And guys, I have no speaking training. I've never taken a speaker class. I think I took Communication 101 my freshman year in college if I had to. I've never had any training. I decided I was going to be myself. I'm not a big word speaker. I speak the way I'm talking to you now. I think when you get over that fear of being judged or laughed at and not caring what other people think, you can get on stage confidently and speak the way you would to your best friend or to someone at work.
Yeah, and I think that's a key thing. I find it interesting because I'm very actively in the coaching community, which is disproportionately female, which is weird because the ones who actually get on the stage are disproportionately male. And I think it's because men don't tend to judge themselves as much. They're like, I'm as good as I need to be. I'm taking the stage. And some of them are good and some of them are very confident in their in whatever they have. And you're right, that a lot of women can learn that like whatever they got, whatever they're bringing right now could be very valuable. Some people need to hear that message and to stop worrying about, are you perfect? And is it perfectly polished? And is my voice pitched the right pitch? Just share the message. You got something to say, you got to say it.
I will tell you, Michael, years ago, somebody said to me when I first started in the speaking world, they said, it's not what you speak about, it's how you speak about it. Mm-hmm. And that stuck with me. So as you can see, I'm a very passionate person. I speak with a lot of smiling and I'm very open about what I talk about. And I feel very passionate about what I speak about. And I just do this on stage. I just get on stage. Now, have I gotten to be a better speaker? Well, of course. I watched my first videos 5.5 years ago and I'd stare at one side of the room and forget the other side. Or I'd use my hands so much you couldn't see my face. I completely believe in a few things. Please be prepared for your talk. If you're using a PowerPoint or if you're not, because sometimes we get on stage and we don't, be prepared, practice, record yourself, watch yourself speak, not to give yourself a hard time, but to be a better speaker. I watch all of my recordings. I recognize where I need to change things. One of my favorite words used to be so, and I don't do that very often anymore. You start picking up on things that you do with your hands, with your face, with your words, and you just start changing them with practice. It's so possible to do that. And I think more than anything, everyone has something to speak about. We're all experts in something. I don't even care if it's landscaping or putting in a garden or taking care of your kids or whatever it might be. There's the most simple things, but we're all experts in something that other people want to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all have so much, not all, but certainly if you think you might want to be a speaker, you probably have something to share and should share it. So yeah, that is a huge thing. And you shared this site, Insider Secrets to Motivationalspeaking.com, which has some great resources to find stages. And of course, Speakertunity has a program coming up called Conference Connections, which is, they have a database of over 3,000 now conferences looking for speakers.
Yes, so, and I highly recommend it. I've gotten your TEDx's, I've gotten a lot of your stuff, and they make life really easy. I will share that when you're looking for speaking gigs, it is a lot of work. I have a team, I have an assistant that helps me. This even makes her life easy. So I hand it over and I say, okay, go to it, Michelle. Here you go. If not, you've got to go and do the research. And the key to being successful in speaking is consistently doing the lead gen when you've got the resources already available, and the things that you guys hand out are so affordable that it makes it a lot easier for you once you've got the speaker kit ready and you're like, where are my speaking gigs? We'll go out and do the work. So I highly recommend grabbing as many resources as you can. And Michael didn't ask me to do this. I'm sharing this because I have my own experience with it. Because if not, you're going to spend hours and hours and hours of time doing the research, and it's already been done for you.
Totally, yeah. And the great thing now too is you said you have your assistant who can do a lot of that work for you. a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I had an assistant. And Speakertunity actually now has a virtual assistant program. So you can get the list. Yep, you can get the list and then just hire the Speakertunity VAs who do the work for you. They're used to doing it. It's what they do. So
and they're good at it. When you have someone, I've had speakers assistants. When you have someone that understands how to look for speaking gigs, at the end of the day, it makes it a lot easier. And then I just guide them on what to send or what to say, or I'll write the little blurb for the email and say, forward this on my behalf. But there's a lot of different pieces to booking those speaking gigs. And I want to, if it's okay, Michael, I'd love to share a few of them to give some more tips.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Great. So one of the things I would say to you right away is you want to make sure that you have some kind of database that you're keeping track of, if it's a CRM or if it's through Speakertunity where they're having their VAs do this. Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll reach out to people, they'll say, application process is closed, reach out to me in February. You want to be ready to reach out because there could be an opportunity. Follow-up is the key because people do not always remember. I just did this yesterday, Michael. I didn't hear from somebody since April. They said they were meeting with the board to decide if they were hiring me for a conference. I shot that email. Hey, just checking in, wondering if you guys made a decision. I got back an email that said, yes, we're jumping on a call today. So the key is be consistent with your follow-up. You're not annoying people. If they don't want to hear from you, they'll just delete your email. That's just email world. Second, you want to have those pieces of information ready. And I don't send these long emails. It's very to the point and very, this is who I am. This is what I speak on. Maybe I'd be a fit for this conference. Here's my speaker's kit. Here's my speaker's reel link. That's it. And I make it very simple for them. And the other thing I really suggest is if you're a speaker, make sure it's on your website because people will go check you out and they will Google you like that. And my speaker's reel is on my website. So very important. And one of the things that a lot of people get stuck on, which I want to give a quick suggestion is, some people say, well, Galit, I don't have a speaker's reel. What do I do? I say, go out, speak for free, and record everything professionally. Not on your phone, please. Please hire someone for $100 and get a professional video. When I speak for free, I ask and they always say yes because I'm speaking for free. And I have the video guy. He doesn't disrupt anybody. He sits in the back with his camera. I've got my extra microphone on my lapel so I sound good on camera. And now I have a professional reel. And guys, it doesn't matter if you only have 2 minutes or you have one reel. Just send something that shows how you speak. And today in a virtual world where I was hired a lot during COVID and still am for virtual speaking, you want to make sure you have yourself speaking virtually as well, because they're going to want to see you on camera in front of your computer to make sure you have the kind of energy you would in person.
And that, of course, is much easier to record because you can just sit at your computer, open up Movie Maker or whatever's there, or Zoom.
Yes.
You could open up Zoom, talk to yourself, hit record, and now you've got recorded content.
Or if I'm on with you, Michael, I can send a clip from this interview so they can see how I am on camera and how I am speaking on the computer. And that also helps as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's huge too, because there's so many video podcasts out there now that one can get on as a speaker, and it shows that third-party credibility. That it's not just, you're not just recording yourself on Zoom by yourself. It's, well, at least one other person on the screen seems to want them here. So
yes,
it must be pretty cool. So yeah, that is some great advice and great resources. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that hold people back. Like, I don't have a one sheet, I don't have a speaker reel, I don't have a bio, I don't have this or that. And some of those things are easy to come by, and some of those things are, you take what you've got and start with it and build from there.
Start with it. I've changed my speaker's reel in 5 years, already 6 times. It's a work in progress constantly for everybody. So just start with something. And Google is your best friend. Google examples of speakers reels, examples of bios, examples of one sheets. Everything today is at our fingertips. We live in a world where if you don't know how to do something, you can either find out how to do it or hire someone that does. So don't ever use the excuse of, I don't know how, to not do something.
Absolutely. All the information is out there. So I'll put up your main website here again. Galit Ventura-Rozen, and Galit, of course, rhymes with elite. I'm going to say that again.
I love that.
I like it. So people can contact you there, and of course they can get your five resources at Insider Secrets to Motivational Speaking, and they can find our conference connections at speakertunity.com/conferences. So Galit, it's been great to have you on here. I've certainly learned a bunch of things as I'm not only working with Jackie, but I'm also working on developing my own speaker career as things come out of the COVID era, and I can actually stand on the stage with the microphone, which I couldn't do as I was building a business in COVID.
Oh, so it was so nice.
I learned so much.
I know it made such a difference. My first back to in person was April of 2022. And I was like, oh my, I'm sorry, 2021. And it was so exciting to be back in front of people.
Yeah.
To be able to do that again. But I was, like I said, I was so blessed to be able to do this virtually, guys. Oh, yeah. You can do this from your home and get paid. I mean, how awesome is that?
It is pretty great. Well, so thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.